Hi guys, welcome back. On this video I'm going to be talking about my dietary process. This is the exact process that I followed on how I lost 14 kilos in 10 weeks. So stay tuned. I'll go through step by step. I'll try and make it as implementable to you guys as I can. But let's get into it. So make sure you like and subscribe. It's a tiny little channel, so every little comment, like, everything massively helps on the road to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully. So first off, what do I do? Now this one takes a bit of explaining. So I fast for approximately 36 hours. So what I'll do is have my dinner at whatever time the day before. I won't eat at all the next day, and then if I normally I'd eat at breakfast. Sometimes I'll push it out to dinner the next day, and it ends up being almost a 48-hour fast basically. So I'll fast between a day and 2 days really. For clients, if you've never fasted before, I'd just do 24 hour or like a day. So you have your dinner at night, don't eat at all the next day, and then you have your breakfast. For most people, that's kind of what I'd recommend. For some, I would recommend just dinner and then have your dinner the next day, so you just fast for like the breakfast and lunch. And then once you do eat, it's about controlling how much you eat, so you just eat that dinner, that's it. So that's kind of fasting. So how that looks for me personally is like black coffee, green teas, water, that sort of stuff. I won't have any liquid calories, I won't have any food, nothing like that. So for some people, I've recommended that they still have like a splash of milk in coffee, a splash of milk in tea. The reason that we're doing the fast isn't for the complete removal of calories. It's more for the mental or the mentality of into dieting. So what you find when you do a fast is you get hungry at like 7 a.m. and then 1 p.m. and then 6:30. Like they're the times that you normally have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're the times that you start to feel hungry. You won't feel hungry between 2 and 5 because you don't normally eat between then. I won't get too much into the sciencey stuff, but there's things called like autophagy, which is where your body basically kills off dead cells and rejuvenates things. I don't want to get too much into the sciencey weeds of it, because honestly you don't need more information, you just need to know how to action things and actually do things. So the reason I do this is to, like I said, break the mentality, to get yourself into the habit of knowing what actual hunger is and what the habitual hunger is. So that's the reason that we do the fasting, right? So it's understanding when you're hungry and when you actually just want food. That's why I, with some people, would allow like a splash of milk in coffee, that sort of stuff, because why even the extra like 20 calories in a coffee? It's not really doing much. It's not changing anything really. So like with this sort of stuff, it's more about the mental side of things. So a couple of like hints and tips that will help you with fasting. Number one is you always want to drink, like always have water. With some people, sugar-free squash and juice, that sort of stuff, or cordial, depending where you're from. Growing up, I used to call it squash, but always have water. If you start to get hungry, have a glass of water. I always have peppermint teas, chamomiles, green teas, every type of tea that I can. It's just different. I've done it before where I've had like blackcurrant cordial and it was green tea, I think. That was quite nice. It just must the taste of the green tea. So like liquid is your key to getting through the fast, and you're doing this to lose weight, right? You have enough body mass on you to survive a day of food, unless like medical issues, that sort of stuff. But on the most part, every person alive can more than survive a day without food. most people, you can actually live weeks without eating. That's not the same for drinking. You can live for like a day without having any water and stuff. Beyond a day, you start hallucinating and die. You start dying pretty quick. With food, you can last weeks, months. Actually, some bigger mass people. So with yeah, always have water. It will fill you up. It will get rid of some of that hunger. But you just need to keep telling yourself like it's just a day where I'm not eating. It's I'm fine. I'm safe. I I can eat if I really need to. But the whole point of this uh, part of dieting and to initiate is to really get your mind into the fact that I just really want food. I'm not actually hungry. Like, I'm not dying, I'm not wasting away. You'll hear some people say, oh, this will affect your muscle mass. It won't. It's a day. It's not going to affect anything apart from up here. The next portion of the diet is control. So, with control, we're not calorie counting, anything like that. All we're doing is saying, okay, on the weekend, this is relevant to me at the moment, I tend to eat a packet of M&Ms on a Saturday. It's a treat. Today is a Saturday, so I will go and get myself a little pack of M&Ms because I'm not dieting. But with control, what you're saying is basically, I'm going to stick to my set meals. My set meals are lunch, and dinner, and maybe like a snack or something pre-training, or if you train before your dinner, then your dinner is obviously your post-training food. But you might have like a couple of snacks or something in there. But everything's like controlled. You're not eating crap. Basically, you're not eating chocolates. The takeaways on the weekend, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to stop eating that sort of stuff. You're not counting anything, but you're changing the types of food that you're eating because you know that they're the easy wins that you can just get rid of. It doesn't really affect your life that much, but it will have a massive effect on your diet. For this stage, for me, it will last maybe 4 to 6 weeks before I stop seeing a proper effect on the scales, really. For clients, I've had this phase last 2 months, maybe 2-3 months. It just depends on how much crap food you were eating before and when the effects stop taking effect on either the scales or body measurements. So, like with this, it's the easiest part of dieting because it's quite relaxed. Like, you shouldn't eat the whisper at the petrol station because you don't need it. Like, it's something that you would have done before. You would have gone to the petrol station, topped up your car, got a little Kit Kat or a whisper or something, ate that on the car ride back home, and like, it's just getting rid of that stuff that the fast helps you realize that you're not hungry for, you just want. So it's separating the mentality between food as a emotional support or a crutch, to then being you're in control of when you eat, what you eat, and how you eat. So that's the next phase. How you kind of implement, or how I would implement that, is just having. It's hard because I'm not actually coaching you, but for me, it's just accountability. It's finding someone, whether it's your partner, a friend, it's doing something with someone that is going to hold you accountable. Okay, you didn't have the takeaway at the weekend. How did you feel? And they need to ask that second part. Like, it's not just, oh, you didn't have the cool, well done. Like, you need to, okay, how did you feel? Did you get bloated? Did you have a poor sleep? No, I actually slept better this weekend. Oh, you did. That's amazing. That's because you didn't have the takeaway full of salt, which affects your sleep. So it's that sort of stuff, right? It's proper accountability is what you need more than anything at this point. Next one is calorie counting. So this is when everything stops moving on the scales, the measurements, and you've had, I'd probably say, like 2 weeks of plateauing on the control. Sometimes you can plateau for a week and then you see the scale start moving. So I'd say on average, especially for women, because of periods and all of that sort of stuff, 2 weeks without any change in measurements or scales, I would then move on to this stage. So calorie counting, it's exactly what it is. You count your calories. At the moment, or when you first start doing this, all you want to do is just count your calories. Exactly, don't change anything, don't do nothing for 2 weeks. You need to know exactly how many calories you're currently eating on average for 2 weeks, and then you can start looking at, oh, okay, the little bit of cheese that I put on top, that's 200 calories. I need to cut that in half. That will cut 100 calories. I can do that here, here, and here. 3 spots. That's it. You don't want to start changing loads. You don't want to get rid of loads. You don't want to do anything too harsh at the moment. If you've dieted before, you know the process, then I would say, yeah, maybe like go harsher, and like have a much larger deficit. It depends where you've come from before. It depends it just depends on you. Aggressive dieting is not bad or unhealthy or anything like that, as long as you're eating enough, like you're getting enough minerals and vitamins, you've got enough protein to maintain muscle mass, and as long as you're training and you feel good and okay, then drop your calories as low as you can go. I will progressively get lower and lower. As soon as I start to feel like, I can't think, I'll put my calories back up a tiny bit. I'm talking like 50 calories. And then, do I feel good? No, I still feel really tired. I still feel really fatigued. My training's dropping off. Okay, cool, an extra 50 calories. And I'll really incrementally do that until I'm like, okay, I don't feel good, but I don't feel bad. And this is like a level of, dieting's hard. Dieting's shit. As long as you can maintain a certain level of suck, then you'll get to your goals a lot quicker. You get to your goals a lot quicker. You can diet and you can stop dieting and live your life a lot quicker. That's my philosophy on it. So you want to do this until basically you get to the point where you're like, I just feel crap all the time. Then you have a break. Now the break is a controlled break. So before, when you counted your calories for the 2 weeks, generally I would put the client back up to that amount, or I would recommend that for most people. You just go back up to the amount that you were originally on when you started counting calories. You're going to do that for, I don't know, it depends on the person again, 1 to 4 weeks. But honestly, most of the clients that I've done this with has come off it in 2 weeks, because they're like, okay, I feel good again. I feel the same as before. I'm ready to go. Let's drop my calories back and crack on. This is something that is very personal to the person. You might see people bounce back within a week and they're like, no, I feel fantastic again. Like, let's crack on and do the next step. So you do that. Next step is go back onto calories. You drop your calories again to a level that you can tolerate the pain, tolerate the suffering, basically. And you calorie count until you hit your goal. Unfortunately, the lower and lower body fat you go, the harder it's going to get. The lower your calories, the more it's going to suck until you reach your goal. You'll hear people, the easiest way to lose 10 kilos. This is probably like the title of this is probably the same thing. There is no easy diet. There is easier and there's like kind of more enjoyable, but the lower and lower body fat you go, the more and more suck it's gonna involve. So let's assume that you hit your goal, you have a break. I would then go back up to the calories that you were on when you started the second phase. So it won't be as high as the first calorie counting phase. It'll be that mid. So say you start calorie counting at 2000, you have the break around 1500, and then you drop your calories down to 1200. and that's what you hit your goal at, I would then put the calories straight back up to 1,500, so that mid layer, and you enjoy your results. This is the part that everyone's like, they forget. You want to, at this point, take loads of pictures of yourself. You want to go to the beach if you can. This is where you have your holiday. This is where you have a photo shoot. This is where you have your wedding. This is where whatever. This is where you kind of want to enjoy yourself, but this is not where you just go, I'm going to have macas every day. Let's go. Like, this isn't the point where you go, okay, I've hit my target. I'm just going to smash everything I can eat. I'm on the seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. You still want a level of control at this point. It's the hardest part of dieting. This is where everyone bounces back. It's also on that, actually, it's inevitable that you will have some bounce back. Through the dieting process, you will deplete your glycogen, which is basically your like carb stores in your muscles and stuff. You'll deplete that. First thing you eat with anything high salt will put water back into the muscles. A high carb meal will put water and or carbs back into your muscles. I'll try and stay away from the sciencey terms and keep it kind of basic and easy. So all of that stuff will get replenished. You'll fill your tanks back up. It's like your car after a long car journey. You need to pump your tyres back up, make sure your tyres are full of air. You need to put more oil in your car, make sure your oil's at the proper levels. You need to put petrol in your car or top it up with electricity. Like, you need to make sure everything's back to full working order. That's what once you get to your goal, your body will start to do, and it will start filling the air in the tires, it will start topping up the oil, so then your overall car weight will get heavier. It's not changed anything. You've not failed at this point. You're not bouncing back. This is just how the body works. You will go up by 1, 2, 3, 4 calories, maybe kilos, in this phase. But you need to, this is why you stay at this for like 4 weeks, because you'll see that initial bounce back, which will happen pretty instantly. It should be like within a week, basically. You've gone back up. If on the second week you go back up again, okay, so this is where you start looking at things. Number 3, if you're going back up again, this is where you need to drop your calories back down and get that level of, you want that bounce back, but not where it's going up 3 weeks in a row. So this is where you want to control yourself, find that level again, stay there. And then once you can maintain that for, honestly, I'd say about 4 weeks, then you can start putting your calories up very, very slowly. This is like, in your first week, you put it up by 50. You calorie count this whole time, then you go back up 100, then you go back up 150, then you go to 200 week on week. So you just add in 50 calories every week until you see your weight start going up and up and up. Once you see your weight go up for 3 weeks, drop your calories back down again, and then you want to just maintain that level of calories again for 4 weeks. If you can maintain that level of calories, you get used to the habits of that, then you have days where you stop counting calories, and you slowly wean yourself off of the calorie counting. So then those habits just ingrain at that new level, at that portion size, and that is how you maintain your 14 kilos weight loss, or however much of weight loss you've got, and it becomes habitual, and it becomes your forever weight, or as long as you want it to be. That's the really simple way of putting it anyway. So I'll run through the process again. You fast, you go through a control phase of just controlling what you eat. You then go into a calorie counting phase. You then have a break. You then go back into a calorie counting phase. You then have a break. You then go into a calorie counting, weaning off and enjoying the spoils of war, the results that you've got from dieting. That's what you want to do. What time are we on? 23 minutes. Perfect. So hopefully that all makes sense. If you've got any questions, please drop them down below. I implore you, if you cannot afford a coach at this point, which a lot of people can't in this economy, I completely understand it. There's absolutely no judgment. find someone to help keep you accountable. When you're counting calories, get someone to just check your calorie app every week. Whether it's your husband, your wife, a kid if they're like grown up and understand it enough. Anyone that you can just say, hey, can you just have a look at this? What do you think? Actually, don't ask what do you think, otherwise I'll start giving you all sorts of other crap to do. But just say, look, this is what I'm doing. I don't need like specific advice on food choices, that sort of stuff. This is how I'm running it. This is what I'm maintaining. I just need you to check in, ask me how I'm feeling, ask me what I'm counting, what my wins are this week, where I'm struggling this week, and if I need anything else to help and support. That's it. It doesn't need to be a high level of accountability. It just needs to be someone asking and genuinely caring about the results. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this massively helps. Put any questions, any comments, whatever you want in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe. On the road to 1,000 subscribers, or let's just try and get to 10. But yeah, massively helps. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.